Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so we are going up against KMSCA. I do believe this is war number 5, season 48. We are a man down, but well, we are doing the best we can with it. For this war, I'm going to be using Nimrod, Valkyrie, and Havok. I actually did ascend Havok. I did not cover that in a separate video, which I still might, but since I realized that my alliance likes to send me on Path 9 quite a bit, and Havok is quite useful champion for this and probably upcoming war season as well, I just decided to ascend. I know that there is a 7-star Havok, but I really do like the champion, to be fair, and I don't have a 7-star Havok, so that's where my final and last ascension has went. So I'm going to be on Path 9, basically, and then we're going to have a mini-boss as well. And for most part, well, we're gonna have 3 fights with Havok and then one with Nimrod, one with Valkyrie. So I'm boosting up as always. Havok does have his pew 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 setup, because if we do get to level 3, then we definitely want to use it and then use it again. Right, so we're gonna get an advanced power boost. Though, to be fair, I do need to be more fresh using those, because they are starting to run low. It is nice to have them for quite a few fights in this meta. I find Power Stat 1 in this particular meta much more useful than Indestructible 3 as well. But for this fight here, I'm basically just going to ignore the Incinerate phase for the most part, or at the very least, I'm going to drop a couple of heavy attacks. I have 14 armor ups, Poison phase starts, I get to my level 2 before he has thrown his level 1 or entered his unblockable mode. And Nimrod does whatever he does to most of the mutants. Now, he has definitely dropped off in quite a lot of areas in the game, especially in Battlegrounds, but in Alliance War, he's still an absolute stud muffin. Muffin master, you could say. Next up, this fight's actually annoying, and I kind of made a mistake as well in this fight by thinking that I might not necessarily go to level 3, which I end up doing anyways. But the point is, I need to hit his block quite a bit in order to build up the prowesses, of course. And other than that, this level 1 was a waste of time. Really was. I want to double check if the prowesses that I get from Havok himself will get me with these nodes. So here I should have been hitting his block. There's just no way around it. Should have been hitting his block. And now that's exactly what I'm going to start doing in order to get rid of all the indestructibles. And here I definitely should not have Dex. I'm still, getting used to the tactic. This is the first half of the first season this tactic's active. And here, finally, we get rid of all the indestructibles. Man, this tactic is something else. Right, so I do want to, again, start hitting him to build up the power. And the main thing is just get to the level 3. So here I parry the first hit of the special attack, which is super helpful for me. Unfortunately, all my plasmas detonated before I could activate the special attack, but we're still going to do decently well. Now that I have my level 3 active, you can see that it did solid chunk of damage. Now, had I... Oh well, to be fair, I think the Indestructible would have saved him from the plasma detonation anyways, because I do have mutant power back boost on, which might not have been the best idea here. But I got enough power to get back up to level 3, so the next special 3 obviously sealed the deal for Agent Venom. So now the smooth is fine, but Havok has definitely been putting in so much work for me so far. And yeah, not regretting ascending him at all, as I'm going to have to use him for the current war as well. Next up, another Path 9 in Section 2. And first fight, I do need to deal with the Jessica Jones over here. So the plan for this fight is very, 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 very straightforward. We're just going to be hitting the block. This fight is going to last a while. So obviously, we're not going to get any hazard chip debuffs on us unless we actually do hit Jessica Jones directly. But other than that, everything's perfectly fine. We just build up our pierces so we can ignore the unstoppable should she go unstoppable at any point in the fight. And nothing else really matters here. We're just hitting the block, building up our pierce charges, and as we do so, obviously dealing more and more damage. Initially, the fight goes quite slow, but once I do get the 3+ pierce, then not only do I do more damage, also there's the instant bleed, and yeah, there's much less to worry about. So obviously AI is kind of an important factor in this fight. You do not ever want to get cornered in a situation like this, especially once she starts, going crazy. Because the longer the fight goes, the more stupid Jessica is. And the entire point is we're building up slowly to level 2. And we'll see if we actually really need that level 2 or not too much. But the point is, now at this point, every hit deals like 5k damage pretty much, as we can see here. 2k from the instant bleeds, 3k from the hit in the block. And I'm almost at my level 2. I do want to bait out the special here. So she throws the sink at me. I do parry her. I do now at this point just want to settle in, drop a special in her block. I probably should have thrown it already, but I kind of wanted to get to another pierce or at least switch my stance, which was, to be fair, completely unnecessary. Now here she kind of annoyed me as she threw that special, and then I also, got caught, but I figured I'll just finish up the fight quickly, smacking her a little bit, because I do not need Valkyrie for any other fight, and it was clear that I'm going to survive this. Next up, we have Hitmonkey. And Hitmonkey obviously is not a bad champion. And he can be dangerous when you mess up against him because of his guaranteed crits and all that stuff. But his health was tiny. His 6-star rank 5 ascended with 247k health on this node. Like, not gonna cut it. And this is actually gonna be a very fun fight, because this is a hazard shift, bleed, and incinerate. So Havok is neither bleed immune or incinerate immune, right? But it does take less damage from incinerates to begin with. That's one. And number two, well, again, we can just hit the block whilst the bleed phase is active. So that's going to be the plan here. And man, Havok is a beast. Okay, anyways, just check this out. Just check this out, guys. This is fun. This is fun and fine. So there's also a one-eyed open node, so I can't really parry anything. But now I have like 3 shocks on me, and we're just detonating him left, right, and center. And this is definitely well fun. So still have, well, I have 1 shock now that's still like, doing work in the background. But the point is that he's already at like 28% health from pretty much just the detonations, and I, didn't even get that many shock debuffs on me, which is obviously about to change now because I go for an intercept, I get a couple more shocks, and here we go. I did not even get to drop my level 3 here. So that's one dead monkey. And now I'm gonna have my final fight, which is going to be a Nick Fury on another hazard shift lane. And this fight's actually going to be relatively similar to the Hitmonkey fight, except there are two health bars that I need to get through. But for the most part, this is hazard shift, incinerate, and shock. So Havok being immune to incinerate, great, and shock we use to our benefit. Now, here the tricky part is that Nick Fury does get his Fury buff in the second life, and that Fury buff does affect the amount of hazard shift damage that I'm taking. So I do need to be careful that I do not reach his second life with too small of a health pool or get too many shocks on me. Because obviously I could also play this, just attacking in the incinerate phase, hitting the block during the shock phase only, and then, relying on level 3. Which I don't really feel like I have to do, because we're going to be getting through this relatively quickly. So here I should not probably have used that power bar 1 boost. Here I do want to, get that level 2 out. So I have plenty of shocks on me. Now we're going to drop a level 3, which is going to do plenty of damage. We're going to get quite a bit of power back. In this case, leaving Nick Fury at 3% after this fight, after this special. And now I'm going to destroy him. And I just want him to use that special. I have a couple of prowesses on me as well, but I do choose to take that level 2 in the block in order not to dex. Now I'm going to get shock, and you can see that shock, would have taken definitely significantly more health off me. I'm going to go for level 3. I should have arguably waited, but we still get plenty of power back, and the shock is doing its thing as well. Betting out at level 2. I'm going to dex this one because I had plenty of prowess. And unfortunately, the shock RNG there wasn't the greatest. I only get a couple of those active on me. But as we can see, you know, he's completely melting. I probably could have played this slightly more efficient, but that is the war, basically. And we did end up winning this one, so we have had a very, very good start of the season. Not gonna lie, a lot of that has to do with also, you know, being relatively fortunate with the matchups. We haven't matched up against Faulty or GT40 or some of the other alliances that we normally match more frequently, or, you know, even twice a season. But definitely a good start of the season for New Nation. This also makes me kind of want to make another video talking about Alliance War, because I completely get the frustrations of people and completely abandoning Alliance War. And I think that's right, because I do think I'm screwed up. The problem is, or the wrinkle there is, that the top alliances can still play Alliance War relatively resource manageable. Like, you know, we're not, top alliances are not dying like 30, 40, 50, 100, 150 times. And it is doable. I do think it's going to be much harder next season when there's going to be, you know, more accurate blacklist, for instance. But for the very top of the game, this tactic actually, after the change, does seem like it's somewhat manageable. I do, however, think that Alliance War will absolutely immediately die if they don't manage tier 2 and below better. That makes sense. It's a bit complex situation, because, you know, I can't make a video where I'm saying it's like, oh, this is absolutely unplayable, if we are actually doing it. Like, if we are playing it, and if we're not dying 50 times or 30 times or even 20 times in our wars. But I can absolutely see why people are, because there are a lot of RPG knowledge, tricks, and roster requirements in order to be able to play this. And this is not a game mode that's currently created, not even for top 1% or top 2 or 3 or 4%. It's literally created for like a handful of alliances. And for everybody else, it's almost unplayable. So it's actually a bit complex topic that I probably should discuss a bit further in a separate video. Let me know what you guys think of the Alliance War season so far, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. Bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about